Okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and jump into it. Glory, glory to the eternal, forever living God. All last week, I heard the statements that were being made about how other Americans don't understand how they're privileged. So, since they don't understand what white privilege is, and we'll go over this morning time, we'll go over a couple of them. But I really want people to open up their minds because I heard what the people were saying. It was the older white men. They were all like, "Well, I was never given nothing, and I can do the same things that black people can do." So we're gonna go over these things so I can open up a lot of people different eyes about systemic, covert, and overt racism. But at the same time, are certain individuals privileged? Do they live their life to a certain degree to where they have other privileges that not every American born citizen has? So we're going to look at it for a second. Let's go back.
In this country, anything's possible. If you play by the rules and you work hard and you have a positive attitude, I mean, the sky's the limit.
You want to sit up there and talk about how if you work hard and you play by the rules, you can get somewhere in life. When we're seeing people who don't work fucking hard, who are not qualified, and don't play by the goddamn rules, get everything because they're white.
Now just stop. Think about it. Think about it for a second. Look at the Trump administration. Look at the time that he's been the president. Has he been firing black people after black people after black? You know what I'm saying? Just all these people. He's down to firing the last black war general right now. You know what I'm saying? Canned him and everything. So just think, when Donald Trump became president, how was it an attack on black people? How was it? You know what I'm saying? What are all the different things that he went after DUI. He went after affirmative action. He went after all them HBCUs. He went after all of them museums. He went after all of those tributes to black people, of great black people in this country. Just snatched them off the database. We don't know about no damn Jackie Robinson. We don't know the first black person that went to the moon. You know what I'm saying? And went in outer space because redaction. Donald Trump sit up there and redacted. But let's stay back on topic. How is their white privilege? And how does it affect other people?
Now, when we can do that, when we can be fucked up, unqualified, degenerate criminals and still get ahead and become billionaires, then I'll say, America, we've made it. We're equal. But as long as we have to be 10 times better and we still last hired, first fired, still have medical disparities due to race, not even due to socioeconomic class, as long as our communities are polluted, environmental justice is out the window now with this.
And then the younger white people, I don't think they really understand. We have to work at it 10 times harder to have anything that y'all have. And then the bad thing about it is y'all giving so much and then y'all lose it. And then y'all sit up here and y'all cry on the internet talking about how it's so hard and how you can't buy a home and how you can't buy groceries and how you can't feed your family and how you can't clothes. But do you know it's 10 times harder for black people? And it's always been this way. The privilege that y'all already have, that slowly by surely, which president, he gonna make sure y'all don't have no more privilege after this. I'm just gonna let you know he gonna strip every single privilege that y'all have in the process of him being so racist and such a bigot, so nasty to black folk.
Administration. As long as we have all these conditions that we can feel and we can see and that are documented, then you can't tell us nothing about no goddamn progress in this country.
In this
You can't. And then you can't tell us that some people are not privileged. You can't tell us that.
country, anything's possible. If you play by the rules and you work hard.
So before I run out of time, let's look at some more privilege that you might sit to yourself and you might be like, oh, you talking about racism. Oh, you talking about exploitation. Oh, you talking about this. Through the veil that I'm uncovering, it still views and it still shows you the privilege that certain people have that other people don't, just by the people that I'm bringing up here.
Grown at a larger disproportional rate.
So first of all, what you're saying is really racist.
Stats are not racist.
Statistics are racist. We know full well that in the 1960s, white cops would arrest black men for breathing the same air as them. They didn't even pretend not to believe in white supremacy. And do you think that civil rights got passed and then all of these white cops decided that day that they're not racist anymore? Of course they didn't. What they did do is they got promoted. They became the police chiefs in the 80s and 90s. And the thing about law enforcement officers is that they only find crime where they look for for it. And they look for it extra in black communities. There's a long history in our country of police officers arresting black men for crimes they didn't commit. And then those are the statistics that are reported. Look at all of this crime.
And you know, history really affects the past, because why is the exoneration rate for black people so high? You know what I'm saying? It's so high. It's like overturned for so high. Why you arrest them and they didn't do nothing wrong? Our exoneration high of turnover is real high. But it seems like with crime and criminality, they let the same people out that's known for doing crimes. And that goes across the board for white and black people. They let all our criminals go, and then they sit up there and they commit all the crimes. That's why back in 1996, you had Hillary Clinton running around calling black people super predators. It's not the fact that black people are predators. It's the fact that the predators in the black community, they just let them go. You know what I'm saying? So what the hell did you think that predator was going to do? They was going to continue to do crime. That's in all communities.
The black community. Those statistics are then used to increase the police budget in black communities. Suddenly that police department has like 10 Dodge Chargers and military gear, and they just stop every car that drives by. They figure if they just search every vehicle, they're bound to find something. And if they don't find something, they'll just put something in there. Meanwhile, the small town down the road that's 97% white is so safe people don't even lock their doors. But what actually are the crime rates in that small town? Who knows? They don't report their stats. Often those small towns will be like, we don't have the manpower to compile our statistics, so we just don't do it. To actually figure out the crime rates in small towns, you have to compile it yourself. You have to go through and look at news reports and figure out how many violent crimes actually happened in a year, and then divide it by the population of that town to figure out how much crime is there. And what you find when you do that is that these small, low-income white communities have just as high a crime rates as the inner cities. And it's not just a disparity in the way that crimes are investigated. You also have biases in the court. It is much harder to get a jury to convict a white person of a violent offense. Study after study has shown that you need a larger burden of proof to convict a white person of a crime. And that means often a white person who commits a violent crime can just say, I was defending myself. I was scared for my life. And people just believe them. And so people that look like me are often given a plea deal. They plead guilty to a lesser crime. And so that violent federal crime, it gets thrown out. So the crime statistics that you reported are only the crimes that are investigated, that an arrest is made, that they are charged, that they go to trial, and they're found guilty. And every step of that process involves racism. And so yes, crime statistics are racist. And for the love of humanity, can grown men stop going to college campuses to debate young people, barely adults, who are not prepared for the debate? Because it would be completely unfair for me to prepare for weeks for a debate, then go to a college campus and debate a bunch of 20-year-olds who had zero time to prepare. That's not a debate, it's a trap.